Alright, it's been a couple of months, but we are back with another review, recap, discussion video of VR Troopers by Boom Studios, this time talking about issue 2. So VR Troopers is written by Margaret Scott and artwork done by Sebastian Priaz, and the schedule for this is kind of all over the place. It looks like we're getting a bi-monthly release with VR Troopers. I know at the end of this month's issue it says the next one is in September, but it looks like they're opting for a bi-monthly schedule for VR Troopers. So it looks like after this month's issue, the next one's going to be on the 1st of October, according to some websites here and there. So definitely stay tuned to the channel if anything changes, because I'll do my best to keep you guys updated with release schedules and stuff like that. I'll probably have it in the community tab. I'll probably post it on Twitter or something like that. So definitely stay tuned for upcoming releases of the comics from Boom Studios. But a lot of people know when I drop a review for a Power Rangers comic, that's when the brand new issue is out and they rush to the store to read it or they hear my thoughts on it. But I've always support the official release because this series is a lot of fun. So the issue opens up with Ryan showing up at VR Troopers headquarters with donuts and coffee, and he suggests to the other troopers that they should go looking for this person from another reality behind Commander Zasha's back. Now, JB does say, look, we're working with the Eltarian forces, why not just work alongside them? But Ryan is against that idea. One, because Eltar has been keeping secrets from him for so many years, and if you've been following Power Rangers Prime, they're probably keeping a dozen other secrets from him. But Ryan knows that once Eltarians get a hold of this guy, then they're just going to chuck him into prison and they'll never see him again. But Ryan wants some answers from this guy. He wants some answers from this fugitive. Now, we know that this fugitive is Darkheart, and if you watched VR Troopers back in the day, Darkheart was Ryan's father, which us, the audience and the readers, know that right now. And I guess some of the characters around Ryan have caught on to that, but Ryan is unaware, so we're just waiting for the shoe to drop on the other foot when Ryan discovers who this mysterious person from this alternate reality is. But I do want to find out what their backstory is within this Power Rangers Prime universe, because it looks like that will probably be the interesting part within this universe, to see what exactly happened and what exactly is going on, because in this issue we do establish our main antagonist of the VR Troopers comic book, that is Grimlord, and I'm sure Grimlord is one of the major threats that we'll have within the Power Rangers Prime universe that we're going to have to keep an eye out for. So Caitlyn goes undercover in Victor Industries, sneaking in to the building, pretending to be a reporter wanting to get some answers for a scoop that she's working on. And while she's in there, she's soon confronted by Darkheart. Now, while Caitlyn is fighting off Darkheart, at the same time you've got Ryan and JB sparring, and they're having a conversation about what happened earlier, where the mysterious stranger was almost able to use Ryan's virtualizer to transform. And one of the things that JB does ask Ryan, saying, "Did you ever see your dad's body at the funeral?" And we don't really get an answer. But Ryan here is slowly piecing the clues together that Darkheart, or this mysterious fugitive, is his father. So like I said, we're waiting for the shoe to drop on that end when Ryan actually gets the reveal to him, or the big truth bomb with what happened to his father on that day, which is something I'm really curious to find out. I know it's kind of the same concept as VR Troopers, where Ryan's father is working with Grimlord, it seems like, but I feel like within this Power Rangers Prime universe, there's probably a lot more that they'll let on to with everything happening within these two different series coming together. So you have Caitlyn and Darkheart fighting within one of the labs, and we get some really cool fight scenes drawn here. You've got Caitlyn doing her shadow clones, and she's asking questions to Darkheart, trying to figure out what exactly is going on, but Darkheart's like, look, you have no idea what's going on, and I don't have time to explain. So during this scuffle, you have Darkheart shooting, and it sets up one of the alarms in the lab, alerting Zictor and the other scientists in the lab. Now, if you do look carefully, you do see them looking on research, and I did try zooming in to see what exactly they were working on, but it's kind of a whole lot of nothing with sort of the stuff on the computer screens. But you do have this scene when they're fighting in one of the secure labs, is you see a bunch of people, I'm guessing clones or something, in these sort of tanks. So it looks like Victor is either cloning someone or something in there, but we don't get a really good look at it. They do kind of all look the same, but I'm sure we'll probably get answers about that later down the line. Now, one really interesting thing we can note with this issue is that Darkheart says that he never said he was working with Zictor, because I believe in the original TV show Darkheart was brainwashed by Zictor to be one of his henchmen, but it looks like here Darkheart is acting sort of within his own free will, doing his own thing. So it looks like he's sort of formed a quote-unquote alliance with Zictor, and Zictor's aware of that because he does say, I thought our quote-unquote traitor in bold letters would be our biggest problem. So it looks like they're working together in some shape or form, but I get the feeling that Darkheart is working with Zictor to get the technology and the research that he needs to sort of fix whatever mess he's in, because that's why he's interested in the virtualizers and stuff like that. But Zictor's on the way, and it looks like that as they try hiding, she's quickly betrayed by Darkheart as he takes her virtualizer and kicks her down the elevator shaft, or kicks her down one of the buildings, where she does land on Zictor, and she is soon quickly captured. So Darkheart is able to get away in the end with Caitlyn's virtualizer, but that leaves Caitlyn captured, and she's soon thrown into a prison cell. And this is where we finally get the reveal of Grimlord within this comic, because he does have a really interesting line within this last couple of pages, and we understand what his goal is. So he does say this planet may belong to the Altarians, but soon this reality will belong to Grimmlord, as he plans on creating the dimensional gateway to send his army through to this world and start conquering it. So now we understand what Grimlord's goal is within this Power Rangers Prime universe, is to open up the gateway from the other dimension and let his army in, which I guess is kind of similar to the TV show in a way. He wants to let his army conquer this universe, but not only that, this Altar as well. So I do wonder how the two different series are going to kind of coincide with the synergy. Is this one-shot sort of going to take place within its own universe, or is it going to bleed out into the Power Rangers Prime universe with everything going on? Because the VR Troopers series is meant to be like 6 issues long, which is like the length of a trade. So I do wonder, once this series wraps up, are we going to see Grimlord appearing in Power Rangers Prime? Or is this whole story going to take place, like, you know, within this one comic, and it won't really bleed over because it might confuse a few people? But Grimlord's goal is here. He says that he's going to conquer this reality, and I got to say, Grimlord here looks really freaking menacing. I really love the art here, where you just see his wrinkly old face. I mean, it's the same costume from the, not the Sentai, the Toku from Matilda, I believe. So we get to see what he looks like here. And I gotta say, the artwork looks really freaking fantastic, especially with the background around him, with all the lighting and stuff like that, and you see his dimensional gateway in the background, so it looks like that he's slowly working on his plan. So yeah, that was VR Troopers issue 2. Overall, I enjoyed this issue. I feel like this series will probably be better in trade, or probably flow together a lot more easily with its sort of sporadic release schedule, but I mean, that can't really be stopped because Boom Studios chooses when they want to release it, and that's totally understandable. But I'm still enjoying this, reading it when it comes out every couple of months. I'll probably binge read it from time to time, so that way I'm up to date and I can remember everything going on. But overall, I really enjoyed this issue. The VR Troopers comic book spin-off we're getting within the Power Rangers Prime universe, I'm really enjoying, and I can't wait to see where it's going to go next moving forward. But yeah, that was my thoughts, my review, my recap on VR Troopers issue 2. Issue 3 is out in early October. I know, like I said at the start of the video, but the previews or the end page says that the next issue is out in September. I believe that's probably a typo or a misprint. I believe it's coming out in early October, unless it hits shelves early, I'm not entirely sure. But like I said, definitely stay tuned to my channel, because I'll keep you guys updated when it's actually going to release, when we get closer to the issue dropping. So definitely stay tuned for that. So with that said, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out, take care, and bye.